What it is, y'all, it's your boy Jones. And if you want updates to all the Jones for Sports content, I'm going to need y'all to.
Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
You heard what she said.
Push the goddamn button.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back for another episode of the Jones and Podcast. And I am your host, Jones, super Bron fan over here. And then to my right is another super Bron fan, my guy, Nico. How you doing, my brother?
I'm chilling, man. Just finished up my master's program in brawnyology, so it's lit.
I love it. Oh, I ain't finished yet. I'm about to finish soon. Very, very soon. Send me some answers. I know my shit. You know I know Brian. Y'all know I know Brian because I'll be all up on y'all asses in the comments and Twitter. Y'all know what it is. But this is the Broncast, y'all. This is the Broncast because my man Bron has been going wild these last few days, especially last night. We're going to talk about it. But hit that subscribe button, comment, and enjoy the show. Make sure y'all share the show so everybody can see. Come join all my Bron fans and all my Bron haters. Come on in. We here for it today. That's why it's called the Broncast. We here for the bullshit. I got my smoke with me. We good. We are good. So let's start it off from yesterday, where we first got I didn't even know Bron was going on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me.
That was a shock to me. I'm like, what? Bron going on a Pat McAfee show? Okay. He opening up. And my initial thoughts about that was Bron's getting closer. He getting closer to the end because the more interviews he does, the more he's like, hey, yeah, I'm giving out tea. And that's just not really Bron MO. So the fact that he's getting out there and talking a little bit more, I'm like, yeah, Bron's getting closer to the end. And he also getting close to not giving a fuck about anything anymore. So that was my initial thoughts when I heard about the Pat McAfee show, because obviously, on Pat McAfee, that's what they do over there. So shout out to Pat McAfee for getting Bron. That's a big ass interview.
Huge interview.
Huge. And a lot of people were saying, oh, it should have been Shannon Sharp. It should have been
a lot of terrible takes
just
on that.
Terrible takes. Like, why the hell would he go on Shannon Sharp's show?
Respectfully, because Shannon's a fan or whatever, and he's always showed a mutual respect for Shannon. Like when they see each other at the games, he dapped Shannon up. But Shannon Sharp is no journalist. Like, I know everybody can put on the hat now, and everybody can wear journalism hats. Like, you and I are technically journalists right now, even though that's what I went to college for. That's what I do. You feel me? Like this is my shit. But like everybody can wear the hat of journalist, so people get that shit confused with an actual media, an actual news and sports news platform versus what we do versus a podcast versus a pivot versus regardless of the level of guests and the level of clientele you get, you are still what you are. Like Shay, Uncle Shay, I love him. I watch it. I watch the real late with him and Ocho. Like, I watch his one-on-one club Shay. I love Uncle Shay, but he's no journalist. He is a media platform, and he's not even. He's a sports entertainment platform. That's what I look at it as. Like, it's a sports entertainment platform, and yes, do they talk about current events and pop culture within sports? Sure, but he's no sports platform. Like, his biggest interview to date is with Cat Williams. Like, it's not. It's entertainment. He's an entertainment platform. I don't think that made sense for LeBron to go there. I don't think it made sense for LeBron to go and sit down with virtually anyone short of going to ESPN and sitting down with Stephen A on First Take directly. Like, this was the only other option. This was it's fuck Stephen A. So this was the option, I think.
Yep, absolutely. And to add on to what you said about Shannon Sharp, him and like you said, him and Shannon Sharp him and LeBron have a relationship. Shannon Sharp and Stephen A have a relationship. So that wouldn't make sense there either, because now Shannon Sharp gonna have to answer to Stephen A when he gets to work. Like he ain't trying to be in the middle of all that shit.
Yep.
Stephen A. would know what it is when it comes to Shannon Sharp and LeBron. He know what it is. You know what it is. So,
And then there's all these other platforms have openly badmouthed him and his son. Like, why would he
exactly.
go? As much as Gil loves him and Gil shows him mad love and they're close, uh, Rashad McCants sits there and shits on him every episode. Every chance he gets, Rashad McCants is trying to take shots at LeBron and Bronny and what they do.
Exactly.
Same thing with the pivot. They're not journalists. Like it's a sports platform, yes, but it's not. They're not journalists. They ask some good questions, like, uh, Ryan Clark is far better than I thought he'd be in that realm. But again, Ryan Clark is one of Bronny's biggest detractors. He sits around and talks shit about Bronny throughout the entirety of this him being drafted situation. He sat there and taking shots at Bronny this entire time. Why would I go sit there and enhance your platform? Because I am LeBron James. I am the biggest basketball star in the world. Anywhere I go and sit down is going to enhance their platform. Even if for that episode, you are going to get 1 million views guaranteed.
Exactly.
Like if I go sit down, so why would I go sit down with the Pivot or the Gills Arena or anywhere else that has slighted me in any way or shaded me or talked shit about me? Never would I ever. All the smoke again, not a media platform. It's a podcast. Like he went and sat down on ESPN. This is going to be broadcasted around the world. Like they have ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPN 3, ESPN Deportes. Like everybody is going to be watching LeBron sit there and talk shit about Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. gonna have to deal with that
And you're gonna have to deal with it. Absolutely.
on your direct competitor for ratings.
Yep. Exactly. And sorry everybody, I was trying to it wasn't up on X for a little while, but I just fixed it, so I'm sharing it. Make sure you guys get on there. But yeah, absolutely. Let me see what these comments say. He sat down with Pat because Pat and SA and Stephen A have problems in the past. Yeah, true. But he worked for he doesn't work for Stephen A, but he works for the same company. But yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
definitely so he like him and Pat are different. Pat's gonna do what the fuck he wants. Like, so it is what it is there. And then my guy, is this my guy? I don't know if this is my dude. Stephen A came up as a journalist. LeBron and Stephen A sit down will be fireworks now. Absolutely.
No, yeah, Stephen A is absolutely an actual journalist. Like
Yeah,
of anyone involved in the situation, he's the only actual journalist involved in this entire thing.
absolutely.
Aside from the shots that Brian Windhorst caught, he Stephen A is the only actual journalist involved here. Everyone else is a retired athlete or an entertainer who got put into this space.
Yep. So now let's get into really the actual interview itself. What were your thoughts on well, I guess let's just get the smoke out first. Let's just get all that smoke out first. His thoughts on Brian Windhorst, like you said, like for the longest, a lot of people, even myself included at times, was like kind of believed Brian Windhorst
That they was like that.
that they was close.
Because
You know what I'm saying? Like, we had all
That's
this.
Wendy's whole bread and butter is that I'm the leading source on LeBron James. Like what
Exactly.
Shams is, what Woj was to sports, I am the LeBron. Like
The
if you hear it
fact.
from me, and I became that person. Like if LeBron news dropped, I'm going to Wendy's page. Like I'm going to Windhorst page first and foremost to see if he said it, because if he ain't
He
say it, it ain't really going down. Like LeBron
exactly
going to Miami, LeBron going back to Cleveland, LeBron going to LA. I'm on Windhorse page.
dead ass. And to hear Bron say like this weird ass nigga, I don't
This
know,
weird ass nigga. That's literally what he said. This weird ass nigga.
like
You know
this
that nigga
nigga
who be
saying
saying
that
we
he knows
friends?
me. He said, "Yeah, this is my best friend." This shit, like, yo, for it to hear Bron talk like that and just dub all of the shit that we've known for so many years, like everything we've heard about, like you just said, Brian, we take that shit like, all right, Brian said it, we going with it, and to just crush all this, everything that he said, just went
Learning,
boom,
learning
boom, boom,
wrestling
boom,
is fake.
ding, bing, bing, bing. That's it right there.
The shit is
Learning
learning
wrestling is
wrestling is
fake.
fake.
That's what we just found out. Is that all the shit that we heard about LeBron from Brian? was bullshit. So
Like
now we just gonna have to wait till
the
Bron
people's
fucking
elbow don't really
retired.
knock the people's elbow don't really knock niggas out.
Yo, for real, like that
Like
shit
the,
was
the
insane.
people's elbow,
Cause I was really fucking my brothers and cousins up doing that shit.
like
That shit wasn't related to
people
us.
don't stay down long enough for you to jump over them 3 times. Like,
Yo,
damn.
dead ass, yo, that shit is crazy. But yeah, what were your thoughts on that?
It, like you said, it was real. It felt candid. Like, it made me a little sad because I was like, oh yeah, the end is probably near. Like, LeBron not gonna play for many more years.
Clean, you already know the vibes.
It that made me a little sad because I definitely started realizing, like, in real time while watching the interview, like, damn, LeBron's not gonna be around much longer. If he's moving like this right now, like, this
Yep.
is end of the line shit. Like, this is last year in the league, last 2 years in the league behavior.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, because LeBron has gone 20 years. Like, LeBron has gone 22 years, and we've never seen an interview like this. Any interview we've seen has been in a super controlled space.
Yep.
In 22 years,
Most
we can
likely
count the
did.
times. In 22 years, we can count the times he sat down with ESPN on one hand. Like, the amount of times he's been on a podcast on one hand. Like, that's not his own. That's not the shop. That's not mind the game. Like,
Yep.
it just felt like, yeah, damn, this is he's getting towards the end. He's getting fed up because if he's going back at the media now,
Yep.
who's gonna have to cover him the rest of his career? And as legacy is getting cemented, because people remember how you start, people remember your highest, your lowest, and how you finish. People remember those 4 things I think about an NBA career. Um,
Yep.
and whatever is the worst out of those 4 is what they'll forget about. Like, depending on how good of a player you are. And his entrance spectacular, his peaks spectacular, his
Right.
lows are low. But if he goes out, like if he ends like on a heel run or some John Cena shit, uh I feel like he does not care. Like, he's trying to end on some heel on like a heel run. Like,
Yep.
he's really on his la fuck you right now.
That's really what he are. He are the fuck you right now. Like, and I personally been waiting for this shit for the longest fucking time. I've been waiting for this Bron forever. But I knew it wasn't gonna come until at least his final year. Now, I don't think this is his final year because he's playing too good and they got a chance to win a championship within the next couple years. So
My dog hit a game winner last night. A la game winner.
come on, man. Like,
The la closer.
it was a la night because a la day or whatever you want to call it. Because you start off with the Pat McAfee show.
Yesterday was Leventful. Yesterday was definitely Leventful.
Leventful. There you go. Leventful. You start off with the Pat McAfee show. You got the internet going crazy. Then Stephen A responds, and then everybody can see that Stephen A's response is a lot of bullshit. Then Bron goes out and plays on that same night, and the game is played on ESPN, which is what Stephen A works for, and then has a bad game, but gets the game winner, the little tip.
The tip goes crazy.
That was crazy.
The tip goes crazy.
Oh shit, that was crazy, y'all. I apologize. Oh, but
Oh shit.
and then this morning I wake up to him clowning Stephen A even more with his boxing skills and shit like that. Yo,
But the best part was the Stephen A response.
go ahead, talk to
I'd have swung on him.
me.
Had LeBron tried to put his hands on me, I'd have swung on him.
Now, Stephen A, what are you doing? So,
Yo, I feel like
anybody in the league.
we're in this era of not just media, but I feel like everybody has like this entitled presence on social media where like fans and everyone feels like, all right, I have access. Like, we know that the stars be on Twitter and we know that the stars be on Instagram and I'm gonna talk shit about them. And then God forbid they defend themselves. God
Exactly.
forbid they defend themselves, because then now I'm gonna go on a tour. I'm gonna go on a victim tour. I'm gonna go on a sympathy tour. I'm gonna go on a slander run. Like, and that's what Stephen A has turned this into. Like, it went from
The Taylor Swift tour.
yeah, and like yo, it's as simple as it boils down to the ego of it. Like, it's as simple as yo, he can just say I was wrong about Bronny. I'm sorry, I was my bad.
That's
He
simple.
his ego was attacked from jump when the video came out. Then when the video of LeBron talking to Richard Jefferson came out, he immediately got on the defensive and was like, "Oh yeah, you see, I know he felt the way. It's because I don't think he's the GOAT." And he tried to like make it oh, LeBron has insecurities, LeBron has this, LeBron has that. Like, no, my nigga, I'm a human fucking being. Like my son said, I'm not a robot. Yo,
Right.
y'all have been talking about me for 20 plus years. Stephen A. Smith is almost 20 years older than LeBron James. LeBron has been, I'd argue, successful longer.
Yep.
I'd argue he's been successful longer.
Yep. I would.
I'll argue in their respective crafts, as much as Stephen A is the him of his craft,
Yep.
LeBron James is on a far higher level in his craft.
Go.
Stephen A is not in a GOAT journalist conversation. He's in the Mount Rushmore of sports journalism, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but LeBron is in the GOAT conversation of what he does.
Yep.
LeBron has been in the GOAT conversation of what he does for 20 years.
For a long time.
Since he was a child.
Yep.
Like Pat McAfee said, child star. They don't get enough. He don't get talked about enough. He's been
Yep.
getting media and news coverage since he was 14.
Yep.
The man is 40.
40
He's
now.
never shot back. He's let everybody say whatever they wanted to say. Other players, other stars. Him not talking shit back to media and other players has made the media call him soft.
Yep.
He's been, everything in the world he's been faulted for. He's been faulted for doing shit the right way. He's been faulted for playing the game of basketball the way you're supposed to play it. He's been faulted for sportsmanship, the things we teach
Yep.
children when they're learning the game. Like, how dare he be cool with the people he's playing against? Nigga, I'm a human being. It's 24
Yeah.
hours in a day. Basketball game is an hour and a half. Like, it's
You
24
want
hours in a day. I'm supposed
all
to hate.
day?
I gotta hate them all day. Like, I gotta hate them all day. I can't go to dinner with him after the game. Like, the game is over. We played already.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, just always done things the right way, and then even up till bringing his son and everybody. Oh yeah, he set this kid up, and that's what Stephen A. I think hit the nerve, because he's let it go for everything else until you start talking about the fatherhood aspect. Like, yo, he set his son up for failure. Why'd he do this? Him and his ego put his son in the line of fire. And yo, none of those people are openly saying, yeah, I was just wrong. Because this all could be avoided. If everybody just spoke up and said, yeah, I was wrong about Bronny, my bad.
It's that simple. Just own
Like,
up to this shit.
yo, a year ago, the kid almost died, bro. Like, a year ago, the kid had a cardiac arrest and could not play college basketball.
Nobody
Had
put
he
that in.
stayed, had he not come out in the draft, had he stayed in college for another year, he'd be in the tournament right now. He'd be one of those middle of the pack, upper pack kids averaging 17 to 20 points a game right now. Like, he'd be in that 16 to 18, 16 to 19 range, damn near 20 points a game, arguably talking about being drafted in the first round this year, had he
Yep.
stayed another year. But he didn't. He came out early. He went to the G League. He's developing into a pro. He's a top 5 scorer in the G League right now.
Yep.
Like, if we're doing splits, like the minutes, if we take all of the minutes that he's played and all of the top draft picks, give those minutes, he's amongst the top. For the time that he's given in real NBA games, like what he's producing, he's amongst the top.
Yep.
It's just, so much ego is involved, and people that are upset that this man is standing up for himself. Like, I think that's the root of all this shit with Stephen A.
I agree. I think and that's my problem with the whole thing is, like you said, the man's been quiet for 22 years. The man has not stepped to anybody, said anything crazy, none of that. So when we saw what we saw, for us, it was like you already heard. Melo said he texted Bron about damn time. It's about damn time, which is what everybody else thought. Same shit. About damn time.
And I think the crazy shit is we expected to see this with him and Skip before him and Stephen A. Like,
Yep.
I absolutely thought this would have boiled over with him and Skip Bayless before it boiled over with him and Stephen A. Smith. Like this was out of left.
And I agree with that too, because right before then, I think maybe even that show or the show before then, Stephen A. basically admitted that LeBron was the GOAT. I don't know if you saw that clip, but there was a clip that went out that Stephen A. was basically he basically said, instead of putting one MJ to LeBron, let's have them even. Let's just put them there, nigga. You know he the GOAT. You just don't want to say he the GOAT. So you
Everybody
say
with the
we'll put
most
him even.
everybody with the most polarizing takes, like everybody with the most viral takes about the GOAT and like where LeBron stands in it, has flip flopped at some point or another.
Yep.
Scottie Pippen has went back and forth between LeBron and Mike. Stephen A. Smith has gone back and forth between LeBron and Mike. Skip Bayless is the only one who's ever fully stood on business and never put LeBron up there. Mad Dog Russo is one of the only few who's always stood on business, never put LeBron up there. But he's a fucking tweak. Mad Dog's lists are terrible.
Yeah.
Um, Everybody though, like except Shannon has always had him as the GOAT, but like everyone else has flip flop. Perk has gone back and forth. Like everyone who makes a viral take about it at some point or another has taken that shit back. And I think that's the one thing people forget. Like they love to bring up LeBron's resume and his legacy and oh yeah, but if you pull up the film and he quit on that Miami team against Dallas and he quit here and this and that. Yo, we can do the same with y'all. Y'all are reporters and it's a lot more damning because yo, all y'all do is talk. Like you're gonna pull up film of his physical activity. You guys are just giving opinions, and more often than not, that shit is based on how you feel. If I look up your opinion on one topic over the course of your 20-year career, Stephen A., I can guarantee you have had contradictory takes and contradictory stances on damn near everything.
Yep.
So many opinions are just based in feeling. Like, yo, it's so easy to just be like, yo, my bad, I was wrong. Like I said something, what I thought, what I felt, and it was wrong. But we're not gonna do that. Now we wanna it's not no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Now the rabbit got the gun and everybody wanna get defensive and turn this into a personal battle. Because that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna spend the next 6 months going on these rants about how LeBron not great. Every chance you get, you're gonna talk about how he's less than now, specifically.
Right. And it's corny. It's corny as hell. And he said in his response um that what was it? Oh, that LeBron wasn't at Kobe's memorial.
Yo,
Come to
that
find
was
out, we all
petty.
know that he was
That
there.
was crazy.
And then he just put out a statement saying, "Oh, I wanted to retract one thing." Nah, motherfucker. Nah. Where you getting you Stephen A? How you getting shit wrong? You Stephen A. You don't got wrong sources. You always tell us if you heard it from me, then I know where it came from. Y'all need to listen to me. This, that,
And this was a televised event, nigga. We saw it.
we
We
saw
saw
him.
him.
We saw him. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? You sound stupid. And to bring that up, you a corny ass dude, bro. You super corny. And it's taking you away from what you actually do, which is your job. Report on sports. Don't report on just one man because you all up in your feelings now.
And then to go as far as to be like, uh, because LeBron commented on that, like, yo, all you do is talk about me. And he was like, yo, we'll see how important you are once you retire.
Yeah.
I bet I won't talk about you much then. And it's like, yo, again, that's your ego, man. Like, yo, that's LeBron fucking James, dog. Like, he's the all-time leading scorer. Like, no matter what, you don't have to like him. No matter what anybody does now, you're gonna have to talk about it where it ranks to him.
Absolutely.
That's why we still talk about. That's why we haven't talked about Kareem since LeBron passed him.
Yep.
But before that, we was talking about Kareem every year. Oh, this person is a little
That's
bit
a
closer to
fact.
Kareem. This person is this now. This person is that now.
That's a fact. Now that Bron's passed him, you don't hear Kareem no more. You don't hear him.
And until somebody passes Braun, which is gonna be for so long, we're gonna have to talk about him. He's
Got to.
gonna be relevant in every NBA season until that happens, and that's at least another 15 years, 20 years. Like the
Maybe.
a kid would have to come in so young and scoring on such a high clip, and then still be around for so long.
Yep.
That man has a career average of 27 points for 20 years.
That's
That's
just crazy.
fucking nuts.
It's gonna take a long time for that to be broken. It's gonna be a while. You're gonna have to be healthy. You're gonna have to be smart. It's gonna take a lot for somebody to break those records. I don't see it being broken, especially not in our lifetime.
The closest person to him actively is what? KD, right?
I think so, and
And he's on his last legs.
yep, he's still
I'm about to look it up.
far away. I think he just got 30,000.
Yeah, KD just got 30.
Just got
KD's
30.
not top.
Yeah,
He's not top 5.
he just got 30. Bron's sitting at 50. 50. 50?
50.
And people didn't celebrate that shit enough. I
Yeah,
didn't understand.
KD's number 8, and KD might not. KD and LeBron might retire in the same year.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised by
Like
it.
he's had far more serious injuries, far more career threatening injuries. And he also just hasn't been successful in a real long time. Like he just kind of out there. Like every team he go to, he's just bouncing around. They fall apart. He bouncing somewhere else. I
Yep.
don't think KD got. I don't think KD got a full 5 years left
Yeah, nah, I don't think so either.
before his body give out. He may still love the game, but I think his body gonna be like, yeah, nah, we done, bro.
Yeah,
And then after that, the next active person on the list is James Harden, and he's in 11th place. And he got 27K. He has half of LeBron. No, LeBron got 41K.
that's crazy.
LeBron about to score his 42,000th point this year. This month, probably, he's only 20 points off from 42,000. So he'll
That is
score that this week. And James Harden might end this year with 28,000.
okay. Yeah, he'll probably get the 30 mark before his career is over. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Oh,
He'll
for
get
sure, because he's still elite. He still scores at a high level.
for sure.
But it's just like the longevity factor. Like he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Like the games, I think, is what really makes it like wow for me. James Harden got 1,100 games played, 1,141. He's played more games than Kevin Durant has.
Hmm.
Yeah, James Harden got 20 more games played than KD. KD got 20,000 more points. No, he got 4,000 more points.
That goes to show you how nice KD is.
LeBron got 1,500 games played. I played 400 more games than y'all, and I have, that's not exact, I have 10,000 more points.
That's crazy.
I played 400 more games. That's it. I have 10,000 more points.
That's ridiculous.
Kareem played 15. Kareem played more games than LeBron.
Yeah. That's what people keep forgetting.
Kareem played more games than LeBron. That's fucking crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he used to he had a few seasons where he did I don't know how many if it was 82 back then, but he played a few and he played 20 years as well, or 20 something years, 22, 20 something. So, yeah. People got to put in perspective what LeBron is doing, and they don't want to because they just want to hate, and it makes no fucking sense.
Yo, Tim Duncan played 1,400 games. Tim Duncan and Paul Pierce both played 1,400 games. 150 less than LeBron. They both have 26K points. Like they're both top 20. Like, come on, man. Like you
Well,
really got to put that shit into perspective. Vince Carter played 10 less games than LeBron James.
that's wild.
10 less, bro.
He played 23 or some shit, or 22 or something.
Yeah, and he didn't even fully retire. Just when the league went to the bubble, Vince was like, "Yeah, I'm not going."
Yeah, he
And when they went to the
yeah,
bubble and then they came back, he was just like, "Yeah, nah,
yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
His
Fuck it."
last game was the day they found out about COVID and shit.
Yeah, they said, "Fuck it."
But
Eh,
man, I was done with
that's
this
a
shit.
wild. That's a wild way to go out.
Yeah, that is crazy. That you don't want to end that way, but fuck it, he's still one of the goats. What were your thoughts on LeBron's comment as far as him and Jordan and what he said about Jordan?
Which part?
where he was like we cool, but
Uh,
now we're not really talking because I think it's because I'm still playing and he wants to wait until basically my career is over.
I want him to fully go into the fuck it mode and like I want him to fully embrace the fuck it, not just part time embrace the fuck it. I need him to go full fuck it
Full fuck.
and be like, yo, me and Mike don't have a relationship because he's a hating ass nigga and he's scared and he been scared and been a hating ass nigga since that time I beat him when I was in high school and since I've been running down his achievements and all of his numbers since I was 20. Like that's what I really want him to say is that like, yo, the real reason that Mike don't fuck with me is because I beat his Nike numbers, I beat his NBA numbers. Nike gave me a Billy.
Dunked on him.
I've dunked on that again. I've played longer than he has. I played better at older ages than he has. I've done more with less than he has.
Yep.
But the media is designed to protect Mike
Yep.
because and I respect it because Mike saved the NBA. I'll give
Yeah.
them that. But
Absolutely.
at what point do you stop being indentured to him at the risk of your future faces?
Exactly.
Because we only talk down, and the media, not even we, the media only talks down on players who's truly close to rivaling him.
Yep.
Like these
Like,
guys that they say are up next and are the phenoms, when they fizzle out, we don't say nothing. We let them fizzle out because we had never really believed that they were going to be the next heir apparent to basketball.
yep.
Like it was Michael Jordan, it was Kobe Bryant, it was LeBron James. And even then, Kobe was like, all right, we've seen Kobe before in Mike.
Yep.
When LeBron came around, we were like, oh shit, we have never
Never.
seen this. And then it's easy to see we grab a Zion Williamson, a Wemby, Jokic, all these other type of dudes. Like, oh, we've never seen this before, but we have. We don't like to say we have, but we have. We've
Yeah.
only never truly seen a LeBron James. As much as you be like Magic Johnson, Magic, I've never seen Magic Johnson look into the rim. I ain't never seen Magic look into the rim. I ain't never seen Magic jump over a man in game. I'm not watching Magic chase down block shit.
Exactly.
You feel
Totally.
me? You feel me? And also, Magic got drafted into a phenomenal situation.
Yep.
Like, come on.
Yeah. People forget that shit too, and people, like you said, when it
You
comes to
got drafted to a finals team
exactly, and like you said,
and just
people,
stayed in the finals. You just stayed
yeah,
there. All you had to do was stay there.
that's it. And uh the way that like you said, how they protect Jordan because they saved the league, and these and that's why I keep saying we got to get. I love that we got these new podcasts coming out and these NBA voices coming out now because it's we done like they said done with the '90s. We done with the '90s way of reporting shit. Like we done with that shit too because that shit's played out and we understand David Stern's message to y'all. Hey, protect Michael at all costs. But
Mhm.
that shit's done with, and y'all
And
should have been done with that shit when LeBron came because y'all
I
would
do
he
love
was the new one.
and that's another reason I love the new media because like the new media even are interviewing those older players who didn't have the access to the media back then because
Yeah,
back
the same with that.
now everybody has access. Somebody got a bad game, somebody sees something they don't like, they jump in on their Twitter, they jump in on their Instagram, they go sit on a random podcast, they go sit down with a streamer. People are getting their voices off, they're getting their opinions off. They could just be minding their business and kids just running up on them with phones and those clips are going viral of what people are saying, you know?
Yep.
Uh like after James Harden gave Malik Beasley 40, and he saw Neon in public, and he was just like, "Oh, didn't Malik Beasley say I was easy to guard when he was on your podcast? I saw that clip." And then he just walked away from him after I gave him 40, after I saw that clip. Like I love that because like the older guys are getting the voices now. So like when people use that narrative of, oh yeah, look at all the new guys who say that Kobe was the GOAT, or look at all the old guys who say Mike was the GOAT. You don't hear people talk about LeBron like that. Yes, because the media during his era was dedicated to slandering him to protect the past guard.
Exactly.
They're interviewing those old guys now. You get a Maxwell Vernon, you get the Mad Max interviews, you get the all of those type of interviews where it's like, yeah, fuck Mike. You
Yeah.
get the Isaiah Thomas interviews where it's like, yeah, fuck Mike.
Yep. And that's
And
what
You get what's his name? Larry Johnson. Yeah, fuck Mike. And
And that's all
he a man like I'm a man. So
exactly. And it's finally the truth. Every year, every month, we get more and more news about. Oh well, yeah, that shit they said about Mike, that was bullshit. That wasn't true. They's covering that up to make Mike look good. This that like it's each day by day, month by month, year by year, we find out new shit. And this shit, I love it because even the Jordan fans, y'all running out of excuses now. Y'all running out, and a lot of y'all are turning. I've seen
my
a lot of y'all turn and say, "Oh, all right, y'all, I can't argue no more."
I know
Bron,
a lot of the older people take it as disrespect when you be like when I ask, like, yo, what makes Mike better than LeBron? It's always a comparison to his peers, and that's why I always bring up
he in the motherfucking building.
my
He,
boy. I always like the comparison between like Mike and LeBron. Like people always use Mike as a people compare Mike to his peers to speak to his greatness, right? Like they always like, oh, the dominance factor. He stopped people from doing this, and the people around him weren't able to do this because Mike was in the league. And I'm like, all right, cool, but compare his peers to LeBron's peers.
exactly.
It's not even a comparison. Like is you would have to work so much harder today to limit everybody from doing those things than you had to work then. And that's not a slight to them. I'm not calling nobody plumbers and substitute teachers and shit. But I'm just saying, look at the NBA top 75 list. How many of those guys have Mike played against? How many of those guys have LeBron played against? On the top 75 all time list. You feel me? Like LeBron played against a large chunk of those guys.
Large.
Large. Mike did not. A lot of those guys came before Mike, and a lot of those guys came after him. Look at how many of his peers are truly on that top 75 list. It might be five people, five of his contemporaries, and two of them were his teammates. Like,
They
that's
forget
my
that.
thing. That's my thing. Like, the comparisons gotta stop. You gotta let people exist in their errors and be great in their errors. You feel me? Like,
Right.
nobody talk about the fact that Will Chamberlain played against nobody. Nobody talk about the fact that Bill Russell played with everybody. Nobody talk about the fact that Kareem and Magic played with everybody. The ratings aren't a reflection of better players. The ratings are a reflection of the current interest. And if the media is predicated to protect the past guard, then all of those fans of the past guard have no interest in today. You can say better player. There's nobody with a set of eyes who isn't watching basketball today and can say that these guys are better athletes. These guys are better
Right.
at the game of
Exactly.
basketball. Like, there's not a person like let's let the old bias go. I
Got
enjoyed basketball in the 90s too. Absolutely. I love basketball in the 90s, but there's no way in hell that I'm gonna sit there and be like, yo, this Knicks team is not more athletic than that Knicks team. Like this
yeah.
Knicks team is better at basketball than that Knicks team was.
Like
And I'm a
LeBron,
fucking fan. Like you're not gonna sit there and
Giannis
you're not gonna
went
tell
to
me
kill in the
that
70s, like he said. Yeah, who's stopping Giannis?
you're not gonna tell
Outside
me
of
that
the
Allen Houston could do
physicality,
anything with
you're gonna
Jalen
get used to that.
Brunson. Like
Yeah,
you're just not gonna do that because I have eyes and I know basketball. Like I feel like
yeah,
everybody should be allowed to appreciate an era and what it is and what it's for. Like LeBron has never been allowed to be great in what he does because he's constantly being compared to something that
exactly.
doesn't equate to what his situation is. His situation has always been compared to what Mike had to face,
Mike,
and there are night and day situations, night
two
and
different.
day. The
Yeah,
team that LeBron took to the finals in 2007, that's equivalent to that team that Mike was losing with those first 6 years.
exactly. I don't
Like
never want
that's the
to talk about
equivalent to that. He was playing with a bunch of fucking Mike had a bunch of cokeheads and drunks on his
it.
team when he got drafted. Like
All he wanted
basketball was
to do is
terrible.
exactly. The team did do shit. He
And
didn't
that's the
elevate
equivalent
nobody.
to the team that's the 2003 equivalent to the team that LeBron got drafted to.
Exactly.
A bunch of burnouts, a bunch of dudes who were out of the league within 5 years.
And that this might sound I don't want to say it. All right, comparing it to LeBron. I'll just say that. Jordan doesn't make his his teammates better like LeBron does. Not even close. Because that's why they were brought in. So he doesn't have to do any of that. He can just keep scoring the ball, play some defense. Scotty will do everything else. And you got spot up shooters and guys that'll defend the rim. So MJ didn't have to do that. Bron does everything. Everything. And he thinks it. He's thinking the whole fucking game out. And look how successful he's been. And y'all can't give him credit for that. It's just straight. But y'all starting to see it, though. Y'all, little by little, y'all in y'all hearts, y'all like, God damn this motherfucker.
I agree with that. I feel like ratings being down, even that gets thrown on LeBron, which I think is absolutely crazy because that has nothing to do with him. I think, yes, it's a product. He is one of a couple of hundred guys in this league.
Yep.
He's not an owner. He's not a GM. He's not a marketer. He don't work on none of that. He plays basketball and he gets fired for ratings being bad. The product of the NBA, I agree, is absolutely bad right now. Like the fans haven't been happy with All-Star in years. Like the product itself is bad. I also think that lends to this media conversation of if all we do on TV is talk about how the product is bad,
there you go. That's
people
what
who
I
don't
was
even watch people don't even watch the product are gonna be like, yeah, the product is bad. Like
exactly.
there are people who are going to watch this episode, people who are going to be in the comments and stuff like that, who are going to say this product is bad, who don't watch NBA games, who only watch NBA highlights and watch NBA
Yep.
coverage.
And that's why
I can say I sit home, and I'm watching games. Like I watch college girls, college boys, men's NBA, WNBA. Like I'm watching full games. I can take in the product for what it is and speak to the product. The product is not as good as what I'm not gonna say the product is not as good. The product is not for me at the moment because I'm not the demographic that they market to at the moment.
right.
I was the demographic they marketed to in the 90s because I was that 12-year-old kid.
Yep.
Like in 2000, when LeBron got drafted, I was that 12-year-old kid. I was excited. I was like, "Oh yeah." Like that was for me then. It's not for me now. It's not for you now. The 40-year-old men who sit around and be like, "Oh, the NBA is trash." The 50-year-old men, 60-year-old men, the mid 30-year-old men who sit around and be like, "The NBA is trash." It's not
Please
for
name it
us.
for us.
It's not
Name
for
it
us
for
no more. Watch basketball, enjoy it if you enjoy it. If you don't. Watch the highlights and talk shit like grumpy old men do. Like
right.
it's okay to be that, but let's acknowledge that that's why we don't like it. That's why we are what we are. When we were kids and LeBron was getting drafted and Kobe was the best player in the league and he was the 20 something, our fathers hated him too.
Yep.
Our fathers were like, this guy's not as good as Mike. And when Mike was the young guy coming in, the fathers then hated him. He's no magic.
Yep. That's a
Like, it's
fact.
always going to happen. It's cyclical. But that doesn't take away from let's not lie and take away from what the greatness of the players are still.
Yes.
To say
Exactly.
that because we don't enjoy the product, the players aren't good or the players
Right.
aren't
Talent's
great
still there.
is absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah, the talent's still there. That's ridiculous.
The talent is still there. The business is different, and the business makes me not appreciate some of the other things of it, but the talent I can absolutely still appreciate. I feel like so many people get lost in what they don't like from the other aspects. They are not appreciating the talent, and once this talent is gone, we're gonna miss it.
Yeah, exactly. We always do. We always talk about. We always
When
reminisce.
LeBron is gone, what now? Because everybody hate, right? Everybody hate KD. Everybody hate James Harden. Like who's left? Who are we gonna love then? When LeBron's gone, then what? Who's gonna be the staple face in the league? He's been somebody you could turn on the TV for the last 20 years and know that LeBron is gonna be on the TV. Like LeBron James is going to be talked about playing. He's gonna be involved. When he's gone, you're gonna miss it
Name Miss Flows.
because
I wanna hear you name Miss Flows. Please. Go ahead. Continue.
all of the flaws that they're gonna say his game has are gonna come from comparisons of what his game
It's not
doesn't have from
there.
someone else's game. That's
Exactly.
the only real because if we're gonna talk about basketball, there's no such thing as everybody's flawed, yes, but all of the flaws that people like to list about LeBron are just things that he doesn't have from someone else's game. Because if we're gonna talk about it, everybody's game has flaws.
Exactly.
Everyone's game is flawed. Nobody's a perfect basketball player. There's never been one to exist. We can
Exactly.
talk flaws. Everyone has them, though. If we're gonna talk them, let's talk them real. Let's talk them unbiased.
Yeah,
That's the part that I don't think everybody has the capacity to do.
they
We can
can't.
talk them unbiased,
They can't do the unbiased stuff. That doesn't work for them. It doesn't help their argument. It doesn't help.
and that's the only thing. Like we can talk the game. Everybody game got flaws.
They're gonna say, "Oh, he don't have Kobe's mentality or Jordan's mentality, or he flops too much and he does that." Like, cut it out. Cut it out. So that takes away from him scoring 50,000 career points. That what about that? Y'all don't never point that shit out.
I like to talk about the flopping thing because that's one of those things that speaks to like how the game is played right now. They don't really speak to his talent as a player.
Exactly.
Like it's a league where offensive players, yeah, they have to bait to get fouls. You manipulate the game, and what are the serious flaws in his game?
Right. Serious.
I feel like the
Yeah.
things that
What's the
they
serious flaw?
again, the things that we use to tear him down, and things that we use to build people up are those immeasurable things: mentality, heart, this, that, things that you can't measure. Like those aren't. There's a reason Allen Iverson's not in the GOAT conversation. Like, but if we talk heart, pound for pound, like we throw things
Oh,
like that around to build the legacy, to pull at the heartstrings. Like
I'm
that's
sorry.
media shit 101. That's journalism 101.
You just made me think of something, and I gotta do it because I just gotta do it. I gotta be real. And if you're watching, I just gotta be real with you, my brother. To all my Kobe fans out there, I love Kobe, but we can't. We got to stop putting him in the GOAT conversation. We got to stop doing that. I respect it. I understand y'all. That's y'all favorite player. This, that, and the third. But we got to stop doing that. We just got to stop doing that. And y'all know why. Y'all know why. Y'all know absolutely why he is not in that conversation. But I just need y'all to hear that because a lot of people ain't gonna tell y'all. But y'all know why he's not the GOAT. Just leaving that there. I just got to get that out there.
I've never had a good conversation with a pro Michael Jordan, a pro Mike. I think my only issue with people that are pro Mike in the GOAT conversation is that I've never had a conversation that is like that made sense, like to me at least.
Yeah,
Just because I feel like yeah, everything is by measurables, and then I think ring culture is too inconsistent to base someone's soul status off of. Like ring culture in a team sport is way too inconsistent to base somebody's soul greatness off of.
exactly.
Um,
People forget
and
that.
you feel me? Like Mayweather is undefeated on his own. Like
Right.
that's something he did. You know, like Magic Johnson got drafted to a great situation. You feel like certain people get sent and got put into great situations and just were able to capitalize and keep moving from there.
Absolutely.
Mahomes, like a lot of people get put into great places. Team sports can get tricky from that. Like I don't like to use
Everybody
that. I
gets
like to base that.
yeah. Not everybody gets those opportunities to be in those positions to be in good teams and compete for championships every year. And LeBron for damn sure wasn't. He had to make that shit happen. And he made it happen everywhere he went. Everywhere he went. And he might not be done. And if he get one more, boy.
Look, and just said his only problem with today's game is that they rush the players too often with all the amenities that they have today.
Oh, yeah.
I think that I again that's the business is elevated and it's like yo it's the same way when people talk about how the league isn't tough anymore and these guys are soft and it's like nah I don't think that these guys are soft. Like, we don't know them as people to be like oh these guys are soft today. No, it's just they understand business and they have more to lose now. Like
Absolutely. The money's way more.
of course Bill Laimbeer was willing to punch somebody in the face like he was making $40,000 a year.
Exactly.
Like, so the fuck what? That's why teachers hate
Exactly.
kids. They're only making
Exactly.
$40,000 a year.
Given.
They give a fuck. Like, you feel me? Like Tyler Hero is making $40 million this year.
Yeah,
He don't want.
you
He's not
don't
gonna fight Asar Thompson. He's not
yeah,
gonna fight Amen Thompson when he gets pushed to the ground
that's why
because he's
yeah,
like, I'm gonna hit this or what? I'm gonna get into a tussle with this guy over something I'm not really mad about. I'm gonna get into a
exactly.
tussle and I'm gonna get fined $40,000 because of that. Back
Yeah,
then, it was
game.
he got a $250 fine for punching Dennis Rodman in the head. Like it was the business is different now. So it's like with the resting, yo, they're putting a lot, it's wear and tear on your body. You're having to play against a tougher physical level of competition. Yeah, the guy's not fighting me, but I have to be physically better now to get past him, to compete now.
Exactly.
I gotta be stronger, faster, jump higher. I have to do so much more, I have to train so much more intensely that the tear on the body, the wear and tear is a lot higher. I don't agree with the resting, but I can see the necessity of it for
For
some
sure.
guys, some situations, some players. I don't like it. I don't agree with it all the time. Like I think Kawhi Leonard got I think Kawhi Leonard is the most overrated player in NBA history. I think he sat more games than he's played. Same thing with Joel Embiid. I think he's one of the most overrated players of NBA history. He sat more than he's played. Uh, but I understand the need for it for some guys.
Yeah, because standard is the standard regardless of what you make.
I think the standard is determined by what you make. The
Mm-hmm.
standard, and that's the standard for everything. The standard for how you're treated, the standard for how you'll accept treatment, the standard for performance. Like all of that is the standard is all predicated off of what you make. You don't expect the same performance from Brandon Pajinski as you do from Stephen Curry because Brandon Pajinski's paycheck is not what Stephen Curry's is. You don't expect him to come here and output. That's why when a guy gets the max contract and he starts to play bad, we all sit around and talk shit about him because it's like, what are we paying him for? That's absolutely what it is. Nobody would give a fuck that Tobias Harris is a mid player if Tobias Harris wasn't making $120
Yeah,
million
exactly.
dollars.
100%.
Jimmy Butler wouldn't have gone out of his way to dismantle the Sixers every time he plays them if they didn't pay Tobias Harris what they paid Tobias Harris.
Yep. I'm sick about that.
There's a reason we shit on players who get max money and don't
Yeah,
put up
exactly.
max numbers
We see it
because
every year.
the standard is dictated off of what they're being paid.
Yep.
There's a
Everybody
reason.
knows. Everybody knows. Josh Allen going into next season. Got
Bagman.
got
Expectations
the
are set,
bag.
standards are set on
Expectation.
you
Yep.
based off
Yep.
of what we're paying you now. Hey,
Yep.
hey,
For MVP.
hey, hey, buddy, we expect XYZ now because your paycheck says 000 now.
Exactly. You better make this shit worth it. So you know that. You know that. That's how the business works. And this is a
That's
business.
why he's in a contract year. We expect his output to be higher because
Yep.
he's playing for that check.
Mhm. Yeah, we understand that, but we're saying that with pay becomes a lot more expectation, and that's why those guys are talked about because they getting that money. The other guys, we expect them to do whatever they're supposed to do, but we ain't really paying attention to them like that. It's the guys that are making the big bucks that we pay attention to.
That's how NBA works. That's how
That's
NFL
how
works.
that's
That's how
how they
sports
work. What do you
business works.
mean?
That's not
That's
how like your
exactly how it works.
your job may not work that way. You
Right.
can't you can't go to your job and say, "Hey guys, like, yo, look, I show up every day. I work real hard every day. Like, I think I'm a better worker than him." Like, you can say it, but no,
Right.
it doesn't show the same as the NBA. It absolutely works that way in the NBA.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly how it works.
That's how your worth is determined in the NBA.
Yep.
Your standard is set into payment tiers. Like, there are bottom tier guys that people ain't expecting.
I was agreeing exactly with what Nico said though. Maybe we got confused somewhere in there in the middle, but it's all good. um, before we close out, last thing I wanted to talk about was the final race. So I wanted to ask you, Nico, who do you think will be the final play in? I'm gonna give you the teams right here. We got right now in the plan is the Hawks, Magic, Bulls, and Heat in the East. Do you think it stays that way, or do you think the Raptors, 76ers, and Nets, who are pretty much have the same record, can still get in there? Or do you think one of those guys can jump and beat the Bucks, who is 6 right now at 40, Hawks at 35 games? They could technically catch them if the Bucks lose out and the Hawks win out. They could technically catch them. So could the Magic, because I think there's at least 10 games left. So it's possible.
They got a little less than 10
Look at
games left.
that.
It's a it's a
Look,
little less than 10 games left, but I do think that the Magic can make a run. I think the Magic move up. Uh I think the Magic move up and get out of that play in pocket. Like I definitely think they overtake Atlanta for sure. Um Atlanta's been eh. Like they've been like 50-50 lately, but I definitely think the Magic can make that run. If everybody stay healthy, nobody get hurt, we can everybody who's left over there stays healthy. Magic can definitely finish, I think, in the top 6. Like they might be able to fuck around and take Milwaukee.
yeah,
Um
because Dame is out.
yep,
Yup.
exactly. So I think that honestly, I think that that whole from 5 down, from 5 to 8, I think that whole order can change up. Pistons, Bucks, Hawks, Magic. I think that whole order can change.
Yeah, it's possible
Um,
for sure. Because they
based
only
off of how this based off of how this week goes, I definitely think that that's up for grabs.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Um, what are your thoughts on the Knicks right now? Our Knicks, how are you feeling about us right now?
I'm confident. I think we finish out a top 3 team.
Yeah,
Um, even though we're shout out to Lakers, shout out to the Lakers for beating Milwaukee, beating Indiana for us. Um, that kept them off our ass. Well, that kept them off our ass a little bit. But I think the Knicks finished top 3. I think the wear and tear part of the season, like we're in that, like depending on how healthy we can hold up through round 1 of the playoffs, I'm confident. I just want to see what round 1 holds for us. I don't want to play Milwaukee first. Um, I don't want to play Milwaukee. I don't want to play Detroit. Um, I would love to beat Atlanta, but Atlanta be having our numbers, so I really don't want to play them for that reason only. Um, I would love, I would love for the Bulls to make a run and get up to that 6th spot, but I think the Magic will be good. I would love to see us have a Magic matchup first round. I think that's the calmest for us. Um, it don't nobody really scares me except Boston and Cleveland.
yeah, same. I'm the same on that. Magic, I don't know because the way they've been playing lately, they might be one of the sneaky teams that might fucking get us. So I don't want to see them neither.
I
Uh,
like yo, I love Paolo Banchero's game, bro. I
now
love
people
him.
been forgetting like they were injured most of the season, and now
Yep.
they getting healthy, and now you seeing what they seeing because everybody was like, "What the hell happened to Magic? They suck." Nah, they don't suck.
Paolo is
Injured.
nice.
Yeah, like they getting back in their groove now. So they might be a team that you don't want to see the first round. Um, but I would like. I'm not too scared of the Bucks after Dame being injured. I don't think Giannis will be able to beat him by himself. I don't think they have enough, especially with Jalen coming back soon and Cat playing the way he's playing. Team been playing pretty good lately, but still, like you said, um, it's only the Celtics and the Cavs that I'm worried about. So, and we're gonna have to see one of those motherfuckers in the second round. So that's where it's gonna be tough at. That's where it's gonna be tough. But going over to the West, what we got? What we got? We got Warriors dropped down to the 7th spot, so they in the playing right now. Timberwolves tied with the Warriors at 41. Kings at 35. Suns at 35. And then the Mavs sitting at the 11th spot at 35 as well. So Kings, Suns, and Mavs are a 3-way tie for ninth, basically.
Yeah. I think out of that 3, I think Minnesota comes out of that, but That still even depends on how the Warriors hold up. I know they've been great with Jimmy. The Clippers, James Harden been on a tear lately, but honestly, yo, two through eight is up for grabs in the West.
For sure.
Like everybody from 2 through 8 is they're all 3 games apart from each other for real. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
47 wins, 46 wins, 44 wins, 41 wins. Like
Yep. Yeah, that's it's real tight in the West.
because yeah, honestly, like the we can blink and Minnesota, not Minnesota, we can blink and Houston and Denver drop below LA and Memphis. Like the Lakers could very well push and be the number 2 seed.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And they just got back healthy. So they got all their guys. Hopefully they can make a nice little run there. The
I
Nuggets on
think the Kings are still trying to find themselves with this new
yeah, the Rockets.
Levine, DeRozan, Monk team, Sabonis. Oh, they're trying to find themselves without Fox. I think the Mavs are struggling to find themselves still. Dinwiddie was trash tonight, couldn't get me my assist. Um, the Rockets are a really well
They're-
coached team. Like
Yeah,
I think he makes terrible relationship decisions, but my boy Ime Udoka is a hell of a coach.
yeah,
He's getting those young boys right. I think they got a great core with them. Like Van Vliet is a winner. He was on that Raptors team. Like he knows what it takes to support bigger name guys.
hmm
Um, and they have a lot of young talent. Like that twin is I think I don't know I never know which one plays where, but Thompson,
yeah,
Azar or
yeah.
Amen, I don't know which one is there.
Uh huh. I forgot.
Thompson phenomenal. Like
I think it's
they're one of those teams that's comprised without like a superstar and it works for them.
yeah. They got a nice squad. They play
They
together.
have like they got a floor general like Fred Van Vliet is war tested. They got the they got the defensive guy like the attitude guy and Dylan Brooks. They
Yep.
got a young star like they got 2 young studs in Jalen Green and Jalen Green and Asar Thompson.
Yep.
I think they're just
And
built
Goon.
very well. Sengun, a young stud big man, like they're built very well. They're gonna be they're going to be like in that OKC conversation for the next couple years. Like young teams in the West, like I think they're going to sneak up on us and surprise the Timberwolves. They're going to come for that young spot. I think they're already a better team than well, record shows that, but they're better than Memphis. I think Memphis's
Yeah.
window came and went. Like
Uh huh.
to be that young team, I think Memphis already missed their shot. It's over for that.
Yep.
Houston is here. OKC is here. Uh
Yeah.
yeah, for young teams, like they're here in
Yeah.
Minnesota. Like that's Memphis.
Mhm.
They blew it.
Yeah. Minnesota.
Memphis blew it. Those are the 3 young teams to watch. I think for the play in though, I think the Kings end up dropping out. I think the Suns squeeze in. The Mavs might fuck around and drop out too. Honestly, I
Yeah.
can see. I
They
can
do.
see this. I can see the Kings being out. Suns being in. Uh, Warriors getting out of that bottom 4. Grizzlies dropping into it.
Got it. Yeah, I can see that. Shit. Um. Yeah, that shit is crazy how close it is. Um.
Yeah, the Thunder are the only ones like who are secure in their spot.
Yeah, they only won.
The Nuggets
That
are 2 games behind the Rockets. The Lakers are 1 game behind the Nuggets.
shit is crazy. I think the Lakers at least get to that third spot. I think the Nuggets. I just don't believe in them like that. They obviously they got Joker, but the rest of the guys haven't been as consistent as we're used to seeing. So, and
And
I
yeah, and you look at who they still have to play. They play the Timberwolves, who have their number usually. The Timberwolves be beating their ass.
yep.
Um, if they lose those, they drop those East Coast games. That'd be big. If the Pacers can beat them next week, that would be lovely. But we'll see.
Yeah.
And they got to play the Rockets twice. They got to play the Grizzlies twice. Those are their last few games. The Rockets twice, Grizzlies twice, Kings twice.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I'm bugging. It's just once. I apologize.
Do you think? Oh no, yeah. You said the Warriors stay in the play-in.
Yeah, I think the Warriors move up. They've been
Oh,
great
move
with
up.
Jimmy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they move out of the play-in. Yeah, they move up, they get out of the play-in because they've been great with Jimmy.
Got you. Okay, so yeah. Um, let me see. I kind of like it the way it is. I think the clip, mm, the Grizzlies. Could the Clippers catch the Grizzlies? Could the Warriors catch the Grizzlies? Or the Lakers? I don't think the Lakers, though. I think the Lakers are about to go on a nice run. Steph hurt, though. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, too. That's why they
Yeah, because I
dropped.
feel like, yo, them being able to beat them
I
being
forgot.
able to beat what, a top 4 team in the East. And I know people, oh, the East is weak and this and that. Yo, the top 4 team in the East got the same exact record as the top 4 team in the West. So even one less win. I feel like so that's still impressive for them to be able to pull that game out with LeBron playing as bad as he did.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like Steph being hurt, that's why you bring a Jimmy in though. Jimmy is somebody you know who could take over the game. Like that's why I'm confident in them. Jimmy's a far better number 2 than Clay.
Yeah.
You can give Jimmy the ball and get out the way. You can't give Clay the ball and get out the way. You still need somebody to run offense and get Clay the ball. I feel like this Jimmy move benefits them because, like, bringing Luca in does for LeBron, it gives your real guy space, like
Yeah.
some breathing room. This gives Steph that breathing room. You let Steph Curry come back healthy to start the playoffs is nasty.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Yeah.
just gotta, Jimmy he's tied with the Clippers. All he got to do is win. That's it. All he got to do is win out, and they
Yeah.
get out to play in.
Yeah.
I think he can. They don't even have to win out. They can lose a game or two and not and still get out of the play in.
Yeah. I think there's they got
And
enough.
their schedule is nothing crazy. They play the fucking Pelicans tomorrow. They play the Spurs on Sunday. They got the Nuggets. They got the Nuggets and the Lakers. They play the Grizzlies. Then they got the Rockets. That's a little.
Yeah. That's just kind of tough.
Rockets, Suns. Then they got the Spurs. They got the Spurs again. They got the Trailblazers, and then they got the Clippers. That's lit. That's lit. They got the Spurs twice. They got the Clippers, and they got the Grizzlies. That's a nice, and the Blazers. That's a nice little 6 game stretch. You really only got to worry about the Suns maybe bumping them, the Rockets, and the Lakers. I feel like they can, and the Nuggets. They can bump everybody else they got coming up. I got 3 losses for them in their remaining games. They could get out.
uh,
And you let Steph come back healthy, it's
yeah. That's the whole
spooky.
my whole thing is
Spooky.
if he comes back healthy, then cool.
Steph come back healthy, we get
That's a little
Steph
cool.
versus LeBron in round 1.
Yeah.
The
If
3 and the 6, we get Steph
threes,
versus LeBron.
yeah, yeah, they would definitely. I'm sure the NBA wants that. I'm sure they want that because if not,
Yeah, I don't want to see none of these young niggas in the finals, man. Get the Thunder and the Rockets up out of here. Give me the Lakers and the Warriors Western Conference Finals. Set it up. Rig it.
exactly. Let's go. Let's get
Nuggets, Wolves, Lakers, Warriors. Make it happen.
it. Other than that, guys. Oh, do you have anything else you wanted to add to this?
No, I'm good. B. Productive episode.
Great episode. Appreciate each and every one of you guys that pulled up and showed love for the Broncast. We enjoyed it as much as you guys enjoyed it. And we'll be back to normal next week. Anything important going on next week?
Nah.
Let me see my guy. Shout out to my guy. Next time I'll call in so Nico and I can have a real conversation about player comparisons, and he won't be to overtalk a chat. Nico, you're very bright but unfairly biased on MJ versus LBJ convo. I am too. What are you talking about? No,
It's not even a bias. LeBron's not
it's
my favorite
not.
player. I just think LeBron is the GOAT. He's not my favorite, but I think
Right,
he's the
exactly.
GOAT. And
Yeah.
my reasons for that aren't purely number based, they're not purely feelings based. You're watching the game of basketball,
It's
and
clear.
I hate this because like people always like to bring but numbers and but I think he plays the game of basketball better than Michael Jordan does. He plays the game of basketball. I think in a more complete way. And I'm not looking at the small
Good.
sample size of him at 40. I don't want to look at the 2 minute YouTube video of, oh, look at LeBron doesn't play defense anymore, and it's gonna show me all the shit of him on the Lakers as an old man. Like, I don't really care for none of that. I'm having watched basketball and been a fan of basketball and seeing both of them in their peak as a young person. That's the key, I think, for me. Having seen both of them be great as a young person. I didn't see one of them be great as a young person, and I'm watching the other one be great as an older person with rose-colored glasses on. As a young person, I've been able to see both of them be great. Kobe, I've seen all three of them be great as a young person. Like, in my adolescence, I've been able to watch all three of them thrive. I don't feel as if either of them played the game of basketball as well or as completely as LeBron does or did in his highest. Because if I only look at them through their highest. I'm not even looking at them at their lows because I think that's weak to look at Kobe when he played with 8 guys on his team that we can't name and a bad shoulder and a bad knee and a bad ankle. And I don't look at Kobe there because that's whack. I don't look at Mike on the Wizards because that's whack. I don't really look at LeBron after 2020 like that. I don't really look at LeBron in 2020 for real. Like, bubble ring or not, I don't really care for it. Uh, to be able to watch them without the vintage tints, the nostalgia tints of, oh, how it was better then.
Yeah.
Which two players have more flaw to their game out of the three of them?
Who has more flaws? I would have to say Kobe. Yeah, I'd probably have to say. I'd probably have to say Kobe. Not that Kobe wasn't great or anything like that, but I'd probably have to go with Kobe.
I'd argue that a lot of their flaws are similar. All three of them, none of the three of them have an amazing handle on a basketball. Um,
Hmm.
I'd argue that none of the three of them have an amazing handle on the basketball, right? Kobe dad hired Sham God to help him. Um, and they're damn near the same age. LeBron, was working with Phil Handy. Mike ain't have no moves. Mike was just a freak of nature athlete, and I respect that. I love that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll be an MJ. Yeah, no, that's what I'm
I would
talking
say Kobe. I would say Kobe has the least flaws out of the three of them. Yeah, LeBron and Mike definitely have the most flaws out of the three of them. The two of them have the most flaws to their game, for
about.
sure. For sure, because I would say that's where Kobe has the edge. Kobe handles the
Yeah,
ball better than the two of them.
yeah,
None of them handle the ball well. Uh, I would say I would say Kobe's the lesser rebounder of the three. Um, I
yeah,
would say Mike has the lesser IQ of the three, just because he didn't have to be a thinker of the game. He was just, hey, I'm faster than you, I jump higher than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm bigger than you.
yep,
For all the other guards, really his era. And that's not a knock on him because it's like, LeBron is bigger, stronger, faster than most of the guys that he
exactly.
played against in the first half of his career. Now that's the average. Like, point guards is all 6'9". Like, that's
That's
norm.
normal.
Um, yeah, I think LeBron, Kobe rebounds the worst of the three. Mike dribbles the worst of the three. Uh, LeBron shoots the worst of the three. I feel like they all have weaker points to their game. I think Mike passes the worst of the three. Um, like I said, boom. I changed my answer. I think that no, yeah, LeBron and Mike are the most flawed. Yeah, I don't change my answer. I think that we're gonna start to get into the comparing them to their peers, like not comparing them to each other, but to who they played around and against. Because if you just look at who they played around and against, yeah, it's easy to look.
Right.
If you take my film, if I go play against a group of 8th graders, and I go play against a group of 5th graders, and I go play against college kids, and I go play against adults, all of those films are gonna look drastically different. You feel
Hmm.
me? And I think that LeBron and Kobe played
Yeah,
against I think LeBron and Kobe played against better competition. No slight, no disrespect to any of the older players. I think just the quality and caliber of athlete. Kobe got to play against both eras. Like he got to play against that hard nose, we wrestling in the paint, and then he got to play against the touch fouls era. He played in both. LeBron got drafted in 2003. He played in the ending of that we can still touch you era. He played in that. He played against the Reggie Millers and he played against those guys.
Yeah.
Like they were still here. He
Exactly.
played then, and he's playing now in this era, and he's had to adjust his game to get fouls. They do the flopping and the crying, and yeah, because he's bigger and stronger than everybody. He's not going to get those calls, which I think is crazy. I think you should hit a point in your career where you get legend calls. Mike hit that point where he got legend calls. Kobe hit that point where he was getting legend calls. Uh, that's why we have all those infamous clips of, oh, I'm not getting the legend call. I'm gonna stare down this ref. Kobe, I'm just gonna stare down the ref mid play.
Bro.
Mike, I'm gonna go headbutt this ref. I'm putting my forehead on that man's temple. Like we've seen them all go crazy. LeBron don't do that. He just adapted to the way it is now. Fuck it. All right, bet. You throw your head up, you get a foul. I'm gonna start throwing my head up. Like
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that's such a misconception about LeBron that he gets all these fouls. He's
I don't look at that as a flaw.
bottom,
I don't look at him
bottom
adjusting to
10.
today as a flaw.
He's bottom 10th in free throw attempts.
It's a hard conversation, and it's supposed to be a hard conversation because all three of those men are greats. Like they are all three deserving of being the greatest of all time. I don't think it's a slight to anyone else to say that, hey, I think this guy is the greatest of all time
Right.
out of these three. I think to even be in the conversation is fucking amazing. It's a sport that's been official for 75 years. It's a sport that millions of people play around the world. To be amongst the top three unanimously is amazing. I think my pick is just my pick. Like
Yeah.
I think LeBron is the GOAT. I
That's
think
simple.
LeBron's game might be a little bit more flawed and just he's not as strong of a shooter, but to be able to produce against the best of the best at the level you've produced for the duration of time in which you've produced, that speaks to a mastery of all of the elements of the craft. Yes, injuries happen and that's freaking nature stuff, and you can't, always speak to that, but you know, the decisions you make lead to your overall body health and like the investments in your body and the working out and the taking care of and the not being involved in the off court. And Jordan had a terrible off court life, and that probably aided to him not playing as long as he could have. The gambling debts and the drinking and the smoking and the whatever else. And then the Kobe's had off the court stuff, and Kobe's body broke down from not knowing when to rest. You feel me? Like that's why I understand the rest aspect now. Kobe never rested, and Kobe cut 5 years off his career easy. Because if you could score 60 after having broken wrist, bad this, bad knee, bad Achilles, and score 60 in your last game, he could have played another 2, 3 years. Easy. Had he understood the mastery of taking care of body, importance of rest, and you feel me? Like, yo, LeBron do a lot of shit he get laughed at about, but I think there's a lot niggas laughed at Steve Jobs when he first made an iPhone. Like
Exactly.
Apple, like you're making something off an Apple. Like people ain't gonna always understand greatness and the road to and the journey of. And I think that LeBron, I think, is the GOAT because he's mastered all aspects of his craft as an NBA player and like as a celebrity in that realm. Like he's been the perfect role model and hasn't been asked to be such. I love Kobe. Like Kobe's my favorite player out of those three. I think LeBron's the GOAT. I think he's the greatest of those three, but Kobe's my favorite player out of those three, hands down. Like not even close. Not even in that realm. Like I couldn't it took me I didn't say nothing nice about LeBron until 2011. Like I didn't say nothing nice about LeBron the first 8 years of his career. Kobe's my guy. Like that's my dog. I'm a Kobe guy. But I think LeBron is the GOAT. Just being realistic about
Exactly. Wade is my favorite player. Bron's the GOAT. And growing up, MJ was my favorite player, and I thought he was the GOAT. And then eventually I was like, I don't think he's the GOAT anymore. Like this guy is incredible, and he's not doing what MJ was doing. MJ was great, but
and
it was a perfect time.
that made me speak to how and that made me understand I think a level of LeBron's greatness, bro, because I hated LeBron the first 8 years of his career. And then I got to a point where I was watching a playoff game and I was just like, yo, this nigga is unreal. Like I forget what game it was, and I was just like,
Probably the Pistons one when he had 25 straight.
I was just like, and I think it might have been that summer, maybe like '08. It
Yep.
might have been like
Yeah.
'08, '09, because I was going to the barber shop every day that summer, and my barber was a LeBron hater, but there was always a Cleveland game on the TV on Sundays,
Oh,
NBA on Sunday, ABC. He always
yep.
had the Cleveland game on, so I remember watch LeBron bust Tony Parker's ass. I'm watching him chase Tony Parker around, guarding Tony Parker. He's 6'9". He said, yo, Mo Will, I got this.
Got this.
And from that level, like people talk about, oh, the Mike got, all NBA this many times and this and those awards I don't like to talk about because those are predicated on the media's bias to protect the past. Like
Exactly.
I've never heard we don't hear people talk about voters fatigue no more. Voters fatigue got invented to stop giving LeBron James awards.
Yep.
Like literally was invented to stop giving him awards. We're not tired of giving Jokic the same MVP yet. For a reason that we got tired of giving it to Russ.
Yep.
Russ
Exactly.
was averaging triple doubles at 6'4" as a
Forever.
point guard on a bad team.
Yep.
Terrible team. He's the reason they're winning. He's the reason they made playoffs. Jokic is on a championship caliber team playing with other superstars, averaging a triple double, and we're just gonna keep giving it to him because he's averaging a triple double. They're not even the best team in the league no more. They're just still a really good team. They're not even the best no more. But we're gonna keep giving him MVPs. He's in the MVP race, for the fourth, fifth time consecutively. They got tired of it with LeBron. LeBron honestly deserved maybe six straight, seven straight.
Seriously.
But the league wasn't going to allow that. Come on. To say he's never deserved an all NBA defensive award. We've watched him.
Crazy.
He's one of the only positions we've watched aside from Magic Johnson, right? He's one of the only people we've ever watched play every position.
Yep.
Offensively and defensively. Because if people be like, oh, yeah, he plays everything. No, we've actually watched him spend a game guarding
Exactly.
Tiago Splitter, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Like he guarded a Hall of Fame squad, Dolo.
Yep.
I think it speaks to his greatness, the willingness that the media has and that we
Of course I'm boasting this. To me.
I feel like the the willingness that the media and like us as a culture and as us as a people are the willingness that we have to give somebody the title of, oh, he's a great, oh, he's the best in the league, he's the best in the world because of what they are able to do around LeBron speaks to his greatness. Like Kawhi Leonard got promoted to the best player in the NBA because he came in and guarded LeBron. He got drafted to a dynasty. Got drafted to a dynasty, and we're not gonna ask you to do nothing but to guard LeBron. Hold him to 25 points, and we're gonna call you the stopper. Andre Iguodala has a Finals MVP at home.
Yep.
Because he limited LeBron James to a 37-point triple double in the finals. Averaged a 37-point triple double in the finals, and Andre Iguodala got the MVP for guarding him because he dropped his shooting percentage from 53 to 49.
That's what we talk about.
You feel me? I just think it's stuff like that. Like, yo, we give the Detroit Pistons mad credit for beating up on LeBron James when he was 21 years old. We don't talk about them teams. We don't talk about them Boston teams that was beating Mike before he got to be Mike.
Exactly.
Like, I think that speaks to LeBron's greatness. Like, Mike is great. Great. Black Jesus. Black Cat.
Yep.
Him. Low, like, Mike.
Low.
Nigga, like, Mike. Bro, I got 30 pairs of Mikes. Nigga, like, Mike. I don't have no LeBrons. I got Mikes. I got Kobe's. I don't have no LeBrons. But we don't give a fuck who those guys were who were beating him before he became him. We don't give a fuck about the guys who were beating him when he was 40 after he was him. People still get points for anything they do against LeBron at 40. People get points for the shit they was doing against LeBron at 17. Somebody come out and post right now like, Hey, I was in that scrimmage when he was in high school. I shot a 3 in his face, and they would be a celebrity.
We ain't gonna talk about this all day, my boy.
Who's
I'm glad
they?
you
But that's what I mean. Like I was able to watch them as a young person, watch all three of these guys as a young person. There's no young discourse about who was beating Mike before he became Mike. There's no young discourse about who's beating Mike after he was Mike. There's
Right.
no discourse about Kobe taking them L's in that later part of his career. There's no discourse about it. Nobody give a fuck. There's no discourse about Kobe airballing that 3-pointer to win the game as a rookie. There's no discourse about his life as Nick Van Exel's backup and Eddie Fox's backup. There's no discourse about
Eddie
it.
Jones.
Eddie Jones, I'm sorry. Yeah. We don't care. Like, there's no discourse about that. We don't speak to none of those things to take away from the greatness of who they are. Mike is Mike. They don't use that to try to take away who Mike is. They don't
Exactly.
use that to try to take away who Kobe is. They use him coming up just short against a Detroit Pistons team that just beat Kobe and Shaq.
Exactly.
He came up this short by himself against a Detroit team that just beat Kobe and Shaq in 5, not even in 7. Packed them up.
Facts.
Gentlemen swept Kobe and Shaq, bro. I cried, dog. I was a kid. I was wearing my Lakers jersey, mad sad that game. I
Yes.
did remember watching the last game of that series.
Me
And I
too.
was out and about with my mom. So like every time we had popped in somewhere, everybody's watching Kobe and Shaq in the world. I remember looking at that game, and it was like a couple minutes later, every time I saw it, and they were getting cooked.
Cook.
Like we don't use that. We don't even use them losing to Detroit to tear
I lost
down Kobe
a lot
and
of
Shaq.
money on that damn series.
We don't even talk about them losing to Kobe and Shaq to tear down Kobe and Shaq. But we talk about every hiccup on LeBron James' journey is a way to speak against his level of greatness. And I think that speaks
Exactly.
in itself to his level of greatness.
It's
Like
crazy.
I've been watching it long enough to watch all of these guys have hiccups along the way. We only speak about and hyper magnetize and hyper focus on one of these guys' hiccups.
Yep. Well, that is all that we got for today's episode.
Yeah, I'm good. We clipped that. That closing rant right there. That was the money.
That was the
Clip
one.
that one. Clip
That was the
that one.
one. Bet.
That was it. I was spitting just now. Clip that one.
Bet. That's the one that's going up, y'all. So
That's the point. Yeah. Clip that one.
make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, like, comment as y'all rewatch the show, and enjoy. It's your boy Jones, my guy Nico, the Broncast. Peace.
Nah.